Hello everybody and welcome back to Killer Gaming. My name is VSDA and today's vlog, this is my vlogging series where I talk about normally the gaming industry, anime topics, things happening to do with specific games, etc, etc, etc. However, today's vlog is a little bit different. It's the first of its kind on my channel. I am a Chelsea fan. I do the Chelsea simulation videos on FIFA 16 every week with updated squads to see how the game might pan out. Sometimes they can be quite entertaining, sometimes they can be quite boring. It depends. It is just the way it is. I can't control what the game does, etc, etc. But maybe you're just interested in this general opinion. I don't know. But today I'm here to talk about José Mourinho's sacking. I know it's been about a week and now people have calmed down and a little bit more, oof, you know, it's all just settling in, like what's happened. But let's talk about what actually happened. And I'm not going to take you back too much into the old school of 2004, etc. But I will give you a background on me. I am a third generation Chelsea fan. I'm not somebody who just started supporting in 2004. I am like third generation, so my whole family supports Chelsea, and so I've got a little bit of you know, I think my opinion counts for something as a Chelsea fan, etc. So anyway, so Jose Mourinho coming back to Stamford Bridge. Now, in 2004, he played a long ball game with Chelsea, the 4-3-3, Damien Duff, Ian Robin, Joe Cole, you know, Didier Drogba. It worked wonders. As Chelsea fans, we were hungry and wanted success. Automatically, with all the money we'd spent, we were kind of entitled to it in theory, right? We'd spent hundreds of millions, poor Roman Abramovich, with a blank checkbook, but we found success in this long ball situation. But it was perfect, we won, and we pissed a lot of people off with that. And, you know, we got slated for it, but fuck them, we're Chelsea, right? Doesn't matter. We'll take success any way we can get it at that point in time, and we did it, and there you go, and here we are now. Fast forward, Jose Mourinho's sacked, moves on. Then we find other managers to replace him. It doesn't really go too well, other than maybe Ancelotti's the outstanding one, where we started to play good football, etc., etc. And it was really enjoyable. And, you know, I think the diamond formation he went with at some point, you know, and it worked really, really well. He was there for 2 seasons, I think, or maybe the 2nd or 3rd season. He didn't win something. I think he was there 2 seasons max, I'm not too sure. But he didn't win something for a season. 1 season. And the chopping, the axe came down on the chopping block for him and he got axed. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. I'm not happy about that. This hiring and firing mentality because you don't win 1 season is ridiculous. Whatever. Anyway, after that we get like the likes of Gus Hiddink and stuff like that coming in, and you can see really good football progressing and everything else. And you know, you've seen this development of Chelsea from going from like stage 1 to stage like 5 of playing really good football. Anyway, fast forward, Jose Mourinho is going to return. I said straight away, no. I did not want to see that. We hadn't won the league for 1 or 2 years. And okay, we wanted it back kind of scenario. That was the main thing. But you might say, well, why didn't you want a successful manager back who gave you everything like the success in the first place? Well, I felt that we had moved on from Jose Mourinho's style of football, of the 4-3-3, boring, and I thought, I have not seen Jose Mourinho, or under Mourinho, we did not play attractive football. Like, now, coming from a guy that loved it at first place and then saw what we could do, wow, I wanted more of this. So the idea of Jose Mourinho coming back, I wasn't a big fan. I have no doubt he might have been or would have been successful, but at that time I was like, I don't really want to see a boring or, you know, just not compared to what we can do or, you know, under other managers. And then boom, he comes back. I was wrong. We're playing beautiful football and everything else. And I'm enjoying it. I was wrong. I admit that. It doesn't bother me. To admit that I was wrong. We had the players. He was actually playing good football, and I was surprised by that. And I thought, well, wow, there you go. So we've got about 5 or 6 years of Mourinho plus. He's signing a long-term contract, wanting to settle down. He loves his club. That's great. So we win the league the first year. Brilliant. We've got it back. Wow, this is brilliant. Dominance now. We're really going to go and push on next season. We're going to, you know, progress even further. He did get rid of... now, here's where the problem comes in. The 2nd season, we started the season late. He gave an extra month off. He wanted to play catch-up with the fitness levels, apparently, and it didn't really work there. Okay, so that's just a mistake. So we can do that eventually. Anyway, it becomes apparent that there are certain players who are underperforming. Now we failed. This is where one of the failures comes in this year in the transfer market. Whoever's fault it is, maybe the board of directors. I don't think Roman had much of a problem, but Roman, whatever. So he's just a possibility. So Roman, the board of directors, whoever Mourinho failed to negotiate. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's somebody's fault on a corporate level, I'm sure. Whether it be the people going to get the players or the money wasn't there, I don't know. But José Mourinho was adamant that he was very frustrated at the fact that we did not get players in this season, and you need to refresh that squad. We had a bunch of aging players since from Ivanovic and John Terry. Now, I'll be the first to say John Terry is a legend, and blah blah blah. But ultimately, he has to be replaced eventually. We all know that. We have to accept that. Happened with Frank Lampard, and it's going to happen with John Terry. Which unfortunate, but of course that's the way it was. And I think as Chelsea fans, we've now pretty much accepted that, especially after Frank, because we loved Frank. Congratulations to Frank Lampard getting married, by the way, to Christine Blakely, I think it is. I think it was in America. Anyway, so we got all these players going to be replaced. So we had the likes of John Stones. Everton were holding on tight and were fucking annoying about it, and playing around and just adamant that they weren't going to sell their player. Calling us out, saying we were trying to turn his head and stuff like that, considering the fact they did something quite similar to Romelu Lukaku a few years ago, and they had no problem about snapping him up though off of us, did they? And anyway, even Stones handing in a transfer request and still wasn't allowed to go, so it just goes to show. Alright, so they kept Stones, unfortunate for us. We made a late bid for Marquez, I think his name Marquez, for PSG, the centre-back, in the last 2 or 3 days of the transfer market. Didn't happen. We didn't replace the right-back, Ivanovic, or at least get somebody in. We got Baba, who's a left-back primarily. They don't really play him. I would have played him left-back and put Aspilicueta on the right-back situation because Ivanovic was fucking shit. He was doing crap for so many games. I think he was, for some reason, he was thinking about his contract up in 1 year plus, and I think he wanted a new one, and age 32, 33, Chelsea's policy has now changed to only giving them a 1 year contract when you're over the age of 30, which is, I don't like it. I think maybe, but I understand it because you're spending hundreds of thousands of pounds each week. You do not want to spend more money. They're trying to protect themselves, and that's kind of right. It's Arsenal's policy, really, but I understand it at this point, and that's fine. It goes on a year-by-year basis, depending on how form you are. If they can get someone better, it's just protecting the club and being responsible, I would say. So yeah, Stones didn't replace. Oh yeah, and we needed a striker. Now we had Costa, brilliant last year, absolutely amazing. Of course, we needed a new one. Falcao comes in. Oh man, now the coup was he was ex-Man United, or he was on loan, sorry, from Monaco to Man United. Then he comes to Chelsea, didn't do much for Man United. But I thought, well, we've got one of their players, so we can come over and maybe do business for us. Hell, we're only going to be better with Falcao and Costa, who's just, dominated last season. They're going to be a fighting force, you know what I mean? Nowhere near. Absolutely garbage. Played one striker up front, that's fine, but did not compete with Costa in any way, shape or form. Injured. I think he's on 208,000 a week. What a fucking... I mean, I know we're not paying all of that, but I know I bet we're paying the majority, I swear to God. What a waste of fucking money, completely. For this whole year, up till Christmas now, no point. Absolutely no point. Waste of money. We could have just sent him back and got anyone else. Hell, I don't know why we don't play Remy more. But anyway. So Falcao's been crap. Say what you want. His fault not... Yeah, well, I say it's his fault because he's just rubbish now. Anyway. So yeah, we're losing all these games and stuff like that. So you're thinking at first, well, we didn't buy the players. It's our own fault. It's the board's fault. Jose did not get the players he wanted. It turns out fundamentally now Mourinho wants a new thing from Chelsea. Well, it isn't new. It is the next progression. So last year they played with freedom, carefree kind of scenario, playing beautiful football, chippy chappy, this, that, and the other. However, Mourinho wants his wingers to get back. He wants them to be more defensive-like in Hazard and William to be more defended-minded. Go back and help the fullbacks, etc., etc. Like a unit, which is okay, but it can restrict you and it makes the players work harder, kind of scenario. which is a good mentality. There's nothing wrong with that. We saw with Pedro and stuff like that. He was working really hard at first and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, players somewhere along the line stopped performing. And it didn't make sense. It does not make sense that a team that won the league last year just point blank stopped playing or playing the way they did. Nothing had changed. Nothing was really added ultimately. They were not in their 30s. They're 24 and 28. You know what I mean? Between that level, you know, possibly one or two a bit older, but ultimately, you know, fundamentally, we're a great side. The backbone of the squad is young and strong and world class, and the people coming in for them are world class. So a lot of teams near the relegation zone, well, it's quite ironic I even mentioned that, would die to have our bench, you know what I mean? Let alone the players on the actual field. And it becomes apparent that we are picking and choosing our battles. So it turns out 1 week we're performing really well, and then the next game, or the Champions League, Porto, we performed fantastic, and then the week after, it was like we lost 1-0 or we drawed. It was like, what the hell are you doing? It seems like they're starting so late in the league that they actually, their mentality is now, it's the league, I can't be bothered, we're not really going to get anywhere this season anyway. And we find ourselves, at the time of Mourinho, 16th place. We're now 15th. After Jose's, you know, we won a game. And they started playing. And this is a transformation. Now, there's rumours that Fabregas and Hazard, or possibly even Costa, were the, you know, the controlling players that kind of put the axe on Mourinho's head. The team and go, oh, there's something wrong here, I'll tweak it, I'll move him. And then it normally works.
Now, for it's quite ironic because he played the same team over and over again, and I thought, why are you playing the same shit players that are underperforming? Oh, they've admitted it to me in training. They are underperforming this year. They've got to get better. Well, if they've got to get better, they are not better. They've got to get better. And after the first try, the first try of them actually trying to get good again, like, you know, like you put them in a match and they fuck up, you just say, these guys are not in form. I play Baba on the left back, you know, Vanovic right back, centre backs from Cahill and Zuma, by the way. You know, Costa, you ain't playing, so fuck it. You're going to sit on the bench. You're going to play. Remy's going to play, and we'll bring Costa on for the last 10 minutes, see what you can do, just to say, look, it doesn't matter. You know, you did fantastic last year, but you're underperforming. Costa seems to be going out on the wings, like Torres was 1 or 2 years ago. Jesus Christ, what a tragedy that was. And he, you know, having to come back into the midfield and then go forward again to collect the ball because the engine room ain't working. And a lot of fans, opinions on Fabregas, of course, you ain't got no midfield, you ain't got no engine room, you ain't doing shit. Matic, you could say, has underperformed as well. Ramirez got legs, he's been playing really, really well. William, a fantastic world-class player, the only player who has performed consistently, and he will get players... Player of the Year, or should, and definitely Fans Player of the Year all day, every day, you know what I mean? The only man that's worked on the pitch. Maybe Aspilicueta at times. Sorry, I'm going off a little bit off track now. But so he's been booed, Fabregas and Costa and that, and it's kind of funny because here's a situation. I believe that Mourinho had a different kind of problem. The problem is that Chelsea didn't want to play for him anymore. He kept telling them to get back, and he publicly criticised them because he was at that breaking point, and they were just, and now every week, now it's funny because these are big personalities. Fabregas, been to Arsenal, I don't know if he won much, but whatever. Then he went to Barcelona, won everything, I'm sure, and then, you know, comes to Chelsea, so he's a big personality. Costa is a very emotional player. A player that basically, now he's fun to watch. When he's on form, he is amazing. Hell, even when he's having fights, it's entertaining. In fact, I said to many people, if Chelsea don't play good today, I want to see Costa get into a bloody good fight. Let's be entertained somehow, you know what I mean? That's the point I'm at. But he is a very emotional player. What I mean by that is sensitive. And I mean, if he basically, he's like, I don't mean to be rude about it because he's a great player, but I think he's like a dumb brute where if he feels he's insulted or mocked, he will dwell on it. He will dwell on it for about a week. You know what I mean? He feels that if he's pissed off about something, it will drive him nuts in the brain, like working it over and over again. He shouldn't have said that. Why are they doing this? I'm really angry at it. And he will dwell on it and won't just crack on. And I think that's what happened.
because he was underperforming every single week, just pissed off. Even when he got subbed, he threw the bib at Mourinho a few weeks ago. He's playing on it. It's driving him nuts. All these things, just thinking one more nail in the coffin, and that's what I mean. He's a very emotional, sensitive player. So no matter what you come out and say publicly and what have you, he's not taking it on the chin and being a man about it. He is dwelling on it and sulking about it. Um, and that's just the kind of player he is. I don't think it's, I would say it's a bad thing, and I get that, but at the same time, I think it's the kind of player he is. You have to explain to him what he's doing wrong, and then, but then again, we see him in matches blaming the defence, and he still went doing his job at the same time. So it is a conundrum. Anyway, Mourinho's gone, and the next game they play with this sense of freedom. And we're playing good football again. It's like it's like a bad atmosphere where you hate someone so bad. There's an atmosphere in a room, right? Think about your Christmas party. You fucking hate someone, and and you're like, oh, just keep me away from him. But there's a bunch of them in the room. You know what I mean? Or let's just talk about Mourinho specifically. And then that person leaves, right? And everyone just feels relaxed. You know what I mean? They're not worried that that person's going to get drunk and start a fight. I'm sure there's a lot of family members like that. You know what I mean? In certain households where there's someone who they're a bit nervy about, or going to start some shit, and as soon as they leave, you've got that pressure off of you, and that's what it felt like. Now you cannot get rid of Costa for a £30 million player, Fabregas £40 million player. You can't get rid of £90 million worth of players every year. You're going to run out of players. No football club in the world can really run like that unless you're Man City or Real Madrid. You could possibly get away with it, but at the same time, there's not enough world-class players out there to keep doing that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Same with the manager situation. So, of course, it was only Abramovich stated that he was forced to sack Mourinho because of the players. They were not playing. So Mourinho can do what he wants. He can chant to the sky, to the heavens. But if the players do not want to play for you, that's a different story. Or they're picking and choosing when they're playing. What can you do? There's only so much as a manager you can actually do. And I know Mourinho's a big personality as well, but at the same time, he's won things all over the world. So you cannot really argue with that sentiment. As for the new manager, now I loved Gus Hiddink. He won a cup with us a few years ago. I want to see him take over full time. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. That's his choice, and it is regrettable. He's got from, just say, Christmas till onwards now to see how high we can get up the table. Which is all now, what are we hoping for? Top 4? I don't even know. I would like to say yes, but I don't know if that's going to happen or we can get anywhere close. So we might have to go to Europa League max. I don't know. If not, the top 10, somewhere in the top 10. But top 4 or the 4th spot or 5th, that would be an achievement from where we are now, I would say. A possible cup run. If we're in any cups, I don't even know what we're left in. We're left in the Champions League. Wouldn't that be a coup if Gus Hiddink got us to the Champions League final and we won it? That would be fucking amazing. That would be incredible. I would like to see that happen. But anyway, so Gus Hiddink not taking over. I would like to see Pep Guardiola from Bayern Munich. He is leaving Bayern Munich. He has asked questions about life in England. He might be going to Man City, unfortunately. But Roman Abramovich is working to get him. And if not, worst case, he will be going to Man City, unfortunately. The other one is Simone. I forget his actual name, his full name. The Atletico Madrid coach, former player as well, Simone something or other. He's an Atletico Madrid coach. I'm sure you'll know the name. I can't think of it right now. Gus Hiddink is out of the running. Pep Guardiola, my number 1. Simone, number 2. Third coach, I would like to see Ancelotti come back, but that ain't happening. He said he's going to Bayern and stuff like that. I can't really think of too many world-class coaches right now, off the top of my head, who might want to come in for Chelsea, the hot seat as they're calling it now. And I think that's a bit unfair because the situation was the player power. I feel it was, and with the ongoing situation as well with the drama of Chelsea. Fabregas suing Pat Nevin for criticising him, for blaming him for not playing or caring if he lost under Mourinho. Fabregas as a millionaire, and he doesn't need the money. So I think he's doing it to prove a point. It's like slander, I suppose, and what have you. Anyway, Pat Nevin has come out and made an apology. And stuff like that, so whatever, I don't know where that's going. But again, see, the stupid, shitty drama of what's going on this season is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and we have a bit, so I'm not too sure. So Pep Guardiola, my number 1. Simone, number 2, maybe, is my choice. But ultimately, I was in a Chelsea group on Facebook, And Jim Up John, a shout out to the Chelsea fans on Facebook 2 group that I'm in. Very nice group. I love posting in there. I will be posting this in there actually. Posted a link today saying that Alex Textra, if I got that right, is set to become Chelsea's first signing post Jose Mourinho's era. With the Portuguese now gone, attentions appear to switch to the state of the squad he has left behind. Chelsea struggled in front of goal this season, and it looks like they are recent shortcomings by signing Textra, who has scored 26 goals in 26 games this season. 25-year-old has verbally agreed to join Chelsea, with discussions now taking place over a 5-year deal and the player's fee. A Brazilian international that can play behind the striker or wide attacking area, he certainly possesses the firepower to kickstart Chelsea's faltering season. So we've already got a new player coming in. Well, supposedly. When that actually happens, I do not know. Well, January actually. Yeah, that would have to be January. We need that really, really quick to get someone to back up Costa or, you know. And that's another thing about Chelsea as well. I feel underperforming. We got rid of a load of wingers. So Corrado, 25, 26 million, waste of money. Absolutely ridiculous. He could have competed with William, well, not William, but like Hazard on the left and what have you. And we got rid of Salah. You know, we got rid of all these players who we had. We've sold a lot, like Mata and De Bruyne, but also these players that we had, we put on loan, and they're doing quite well in other clubs. I don't really understand why we've done that. That's what I was saying. So when Hazard played bad, you couldn't replace him with anybody half decent. You had to stick with the same team. We see that a lot this season, which is ridiculous. You say play the kids, and we say, well, we can't risk because the kids won't win, whatever. Well, if they're not going to win, why did we get rid of a load of world-class talented players we spent millions on, and they're still fucked up? Anyway, so my top 2 picks, Pep Guardiola, Simone, those two. That's about it for this vlog. It's up near Christmas. I hope everyone has a very good Christmas. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and you know, watch my simulations, etc., etc. And I will see you next time. Oh yeah, follow me at Killer Gaming 01 on Twitter and my Facebook group as well. And I will see you on the next video. Keep the blue flag flying high, and I'll see you whenever, man. My next vlog or my weekly news video. Remember, I do that as well. And yeah, and I'll have an update video about my channel as well after this. So thanks for watching.